Tonight on Ctv3 News, justice begins. The police charged 26-year-old in fatal ambush of San Lazaro farmer Virginio Carrillo. Minister Garcia Ramirez welcomes recharge of police constable Garbut in child harm case. Fair trade fight continues. Tate and Lyle appeals decision in $11 million cane farmers claim. And Belize takes a major step towards child justice reform with creation of National Steering Committee. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Thursday, July 16th, 2026.
There's going to be 5 modules that we will be looking at. The first one would be the duties of traffic wardens, power of arrest, and the legislative amendments as it relates to DUI. The second module looks at report writing, and then we look at motorcycle helmets and its standards. On Wednesday, we'd look at the proper use of breathalyzers, and then we'll do some training related to that. On Thursday, we then look at electronic evidence as it relates to the changes in legislation and the use of the body cams and dash cams. And on Friday, of course, we'll be doing a simulation on a case file preparation.
Please remember, the rules are there for a reason. The regulations are there for a reason. It's not to bypass them. It's to ensure that you protect the citizens of Belize.
We're not here to just teach you. We're also here to learn from you. You are the ones who are on the streets every day doing traffic enforcements. So you know what are the issues that affects you and should be able to guide us so that we can correct those issues.
At the beginning, it was a bit challenging because it sounded so good and so promising that I think people were reluctant in embracing the idea. But after 2 years in this NHI program, the perception of people and the usage of people for the services that we offer is very much appreciated. And the people are using all the services that we have. And our population has grown a lot. We actually have registered, which by the way I have to mention this, we never expected to grow this fast. We are at 12,000 and plus registered patients with us right now. And the numbers are growing on a daily basis, I would say. For the general physicians and the specialists that include the gynecologists, the pediatrician and the internist. And now we have a nutritionist, it's $2, which is very accessible to people. And when it comes to the laboratory or the images, it's just a 10% cost that they pay for the whole service that is offered. If we have a healthy community, then I would say that the whole country itself is going to benefit from it, because a healthy community is going to be successful economically as a whole. That is my vision of the NHI. Its service, its purpose.
Today will be the inauguration of the backup water system. This will be able to assist the Pomona Water Board to expand, and if they get breakdown with the current system, this can also be a backup. There are times when, especially in the dry season, when the current system might run low or might run dry. And then that by itself creates a problem to fetch water. So we are hopeful that if this is not used as much right now, when the other system runs low, this will kick in.
We must ensure that people have access to clean, safe, potable water, just like everybody else across this country. What you see here today is an investment of over $160,000. It includes all the pipes that you see here. We also have other accessories. We have a backup generator. We have the solar system. And we also have a booster pump.
The most difficult part that hinders development is the access of water. We have reduced significantly the amount of people that were deprived from accessing a basic need such as water.
I am elated, very happy to be here, receiving the system. I think everybody would be very happy, very happy.
When we call it, we have no water, no nothing. That was an empty spot, but it's home now. They have a pipe right out there, so it's still okay, just that we had to reach up to get the water. I cannot wait to have it reach to our door.
Good evening. With your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7, I am Joanna Rodriguez. What began as a routine trip to feed his animals ended in tragedy for a respected San Lazaro farmer whose violent death has left an entire community in mourning. Days after the shocking killing, police have formally charged a 26-year-old man with his murder. Christian Navel Velasquez has been charged in connection with the death of 68-year-old Virginio Carrillo, who was fatally attacked on Monday, July 13th, while riding his bicycle along a road near a cane field in San Lazaro. Investigators believe Carrillo was ambushed as he made his way to his farm. Police suspect the attacker lay in wait before emerging from nearby bushes and launching the fatal assault. Assistant Commissioner of Police Alberto Romero, head of the National Crimes Investigation Branch, said officers responded to the scene shortly after 9:30 a.m. after a villager traveling to nearby cane fields discovered Carrillo's body and alerted authorities. Police found the elderly farmer with multiple chop wounds. According to investigators, he had left work earlier that morning to make his usual trip to his farm to feed his animals, a journey he made regularly without incident. The motive for the killing remains unclear, leaving Carrillo's family searching for answers. Relatives described him as a peaceful, hard-working man who kept to himself, had no known conflicts, and was not carrying anything of significant value when he was attacked. They say there was nothing to suggest he would become the target of such a brutal attack. Velasquez has since been arraigned and remains before the court as the criminal proceedings move forward. Police have indicated that the investigation into the homicide is continuing. A criminal case involving Police Constable Philip Garbott has taken another turn after prosecutors successfully restored a harm charge related to the alleged assault of his 8-year-old stepson, despite the matter having been dismissed earlier this year. On July 7, 2026, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, secured the reinstatement of the charge before the court after Chief Magistrate Deborah Rogers ruled its earlier withdrawal was legally invalid. The charge had been dismissed in April after Garbott's common-law wife informed the court that she no longer wished to continue with the prosecution. However, the Chief Magistrate concluded that the withdrawal amounted to a nullity finding that the magistrate who presided over the April proceedings did not have the legal authority to dismiss a harm charge involving a child. Immediately after the ruling, Garbutt's attorney filed a constitutional challenge in the High Court, arguing that reinstating the charge violates protections against double jeopardy. As a result, proceedings in the magistrate's court have been placed on hold, pending the High Court's decision. Today, Minister of Human Development, Family Support, and Gender Affairs, the Honorable Thea Garcia Ramirez, said she was pleased that the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, had found sufficient grounds to recharge Garbutt.
Well, yes, I'm glad. I can say that I'm glad that that has happened. A lot of the times, as minister and members of human development are barred from really commenting, especially on cases that are active and are being investigated. And we're not all the time at liberty because of the issue of trying to safeguard the minor, especially his dignity, and the victim's confidentiality. So we're not able to always comment, and I'm happy that you asked so that I could clear that up. So everyone sees what happens and the public's obvious reaction to a child being hit on camera. But we're not always at liberty to be able to clarify because the issues sometimes are still before the courts and are being investigated. But I am glad that the DPP has found cause to recharge, and we are waiting to see what the outcome of that will be. I believe that despite the efforts being made to actually go out and report, we also sometimes have to review and there is a great call for revision of the legislature because we have some laws on our books that are very, very old that do not speak to the times in which we live. But of course, the police and the DPP are guided by what is on the books in terms of charging, and also the judiciary is guided by what is on the books in terms of finding people guilty and of sentencing and that sort of thing. And so we continuously revisit and revise legislature. There are a lot of times when the ministry and the statutory bodies under the ministry go out and do consultations for the revision of legislature. And we have a hard time with people coming to these consultations, but they're very, very important because when you see a consultation for a revision of a law, I want to encourage everybody to come in because it's important. It does affect the way we live, the laws that govern us, and the outcomes of all of these cases that we see.
The case stems from an incident in February that drew widespread public attention after surveillance footage was leaked online. The video allegedly showed Garbutt physically assaulting his common-law wife while their 8-year-old son attempted to intervene by using a metal bat in an effort to protect his mother. Following the incident, Garbutt was charged with wounding and harm. Those charges were later withdrawn in the Belize City Magistrates Court after the complainant indicated she did not wish to pursue the matter further. The decision sparked public criticism and prompted intervention by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. Prosecutors maintained that the harm charge involved the minor should not have been withdrawn, ultimately leading to the July 7 ruling that restored the case against the police officer. Belize's growing demand for electricity, coupled with the possibility of reduced power imports from Mexico, has placed the country's energy sector under increasing pressure, prompting government officials and Belize Electricity Limited (BEL) to accelerate efforts to secure additional power sources and minimize disruptions to consumers. In recent days, many Belizeans have had to deal with scheduled load shedding times for different areas of the country. The alerts come as BEL continues to manage limited electricity supplies while seeking additional local generation to help meet demand. Yesterday, Prime Minister John Briceño acknowledged the challenges facing the country, explaining that while temporary power interruptions remain a concern, whenever Mexico's Comisión Federal de Electricidad, CFE, reduces its electricity supply to Belize, the government is actively pursuing short-term measures to lessen the impact. The goal, he said, is to ensure that planned outages do not become a regular occurrence. As part of those efforts, the Ministry of Public Utilities, Energy and Logistics on Thursday convened an electricity strategic planning meeting, bringing together BEL and other major stakeholders in the energy sector to map out Belize's electricity future. Discussion centered on the current state of the country's power system, the availability of electricity generation in both the immediate and long term, projected increases in demand, and strategies to strengthen the national energy supply. Participants also explored collaborative solutions aimed at improving reliability while reducing the country's vulnerability to external supply constraints. The ministry emphasized that continued cooperation among government agencies, BEL, and industry partners will be critical to building a stronger and more resilient electricity sector. Officials say strategic planning and investment in additional generation capacity are essential to enhancing Belize's energy security and ensuring a dependable, sustainable electricity supply for households and businesses across the country. The long-running legal battle over disputed fair trade premiums is set to continue after Tate & Lyle Sugars announced it will appeal a recent Court of Appeal ruling that allows the case to proceed before the Belize courts. Back in June, the Court of Appeal dismissed an application by Tate & Lyle Sugars, TLS, which had sought to have the lawsuit filed by the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association, BACFA, struck out on jurisdictional grounds. TLS had argued that Belize's court did not have the authority to hear the claim against the company. The lawsuit centers on allegations of millions of dollars in fair trade premiums generated through the sale of Belizean sugar were not properly paid to cane farmers. The BACFA contends that the premiums rightfully belong to Belize's sugar producers and has been seeking to recover the disputed funds through the courts. Speaking on the latest development, BACFA Orange Walk Chairman Fred Ortega says they recognize the move by Tate & Lyle as a frustration tactic. However, they will not back down from seeking justice for its farmers.
Yesterday, it was called, but only our lawyer was present at the issue with the court, and we were unable to connect because it was virtual. But what the lawyer told Mizuni is that BSI, our Tate & Lyle lawyers, came out that they will appeal the case again. So we don't know what time will take for them to do that. We know that they are trying to frustrate, but we call the farmers that they be patient and that at the very end God will assist us and we should come out with something better than what we are living at this point in time.
According to Ortega, the amount the association believes is owed to Belizean cane farmers has continued to grow over the years. He says the losses from unpaid fair trade premiums now exceed 11 million Belize dollars, making the outcome of the case increasingly important for the industry's producers.
In the meantime, how our farmers are, the BSAV continues without fair trade premiums?
Yes.
What is the amount looking like now?
Well, it's over 11 millions as we speak right now for the time that we have. And we don't have an exact number because they have not been providing us with the amount of sugar being sold on a fair trade, because they're using that, because we don't have an enhancement letter signed with them, that they don't want to give us the information. Nevertheless, the fair trade standards are very clear that they should be providing us with those information because we are certified. Our farmers, nevertheless, with the problem, the financial problem that they're facing, they're still working on complying the fair trade standards. So all our sugarcane that we have been producing is the same as the other associations that have been getting their premium. We are complying with the standards. So we believe that this is an unjust being done to the BSC African farmers, on which we are looking forward that our farmers prevail and really work together with us to reach to the point where we can get what is duly right to us.
Coming up next, Belize establishes National Steering Committee to strengthen child protection and justice. Stay tuned.
Money travels fast, so make sure you check it before you spend it. Here are 4 easy ways to know your money is real. Look, feel, tilt, and check. Look closely at your note by holding it to the light to see the watermark and the note value. Notice how the see-through image completes itself perfectly. Feel for authenticity. Run your fingers over the raised portrait and the bars on the edges. 1 bar for the $2 and up to 6 bars for the $100. Tilt the note to see the hidden value appear. Look for the moving images on the security thread and holographic shimmer on higher denominations. Check closely. Use UV light or a magnifying glass to find hidden images and microtext. Remember, handling counterfeit money is illegal. If you spot a fake, report it to the police immediately. Look, feel, tilt, and check. Know your money. Check it before you spend it. A message from the Central Bank of Belize.
It's easy to sit at home and blame the government for crime. A lot of people do it. Politicians do it all the time. It's like a game. Gang members shooting each other or innocent citizens. Blame the government. Blame the police. Narco players executed because of a drug deal gone bad. Blame the government. Blame the police. Domestic violence turned fatal, same thing. Every murder, no matter where, no matter why, same blame game. But our children weren't born criminals. When did they become murderers? Who taught them their values? Who taught them about right and wrong? Where are their parents, their families? It's not too late to save your child. It's not too late to raise your child right. Keep them in school. Keep them off the streets. Teach them the value of hard work. Teach them honesty and integrity. Love them before it's too late. Stop the blame game and let's all be the village that raises our children. A message from the Ministry of Home Affairs and the Violence Prevention and Enforcement Unit.
El evento de fútbol más grande del mundo por fin llegó y Smart te invita a vivir toda la emoción del mundial. Antes de que empiece cada partido, predice quién se lleva la victoria. Entre más predicciones hagas, más oportunidades acumulas. Suma un punto cuando le aciertes al equipo ganador y si le atinas al marcador exacto, obtienes hasta 4 puntos. La persona con más puntos al terminar el mundial se lleva $2,500 en efectivo. Y eso no es todo. También habrá premios semanales durante toda la competencia. Además, el líder de los cuartos de final se lleva un paquete completo para armar su Watch Party. Participa directamente desde la app de Smart por solo 50 centavos por participación. Las predicciones estarán disponibles del 1 de junio al 18 de julio del 2026. No solo veas el mundial, vívelo con Smart. Smart, bring people together.
matters. Every second counts. Get ahead with ExpressNet. Fast, reliable, ready when you are.
Gather your friends and watch the World Cup at Lamanai Riverside Retreat. Every game, every goal, every day. Watch the world's biggest football celebration right here at Lamanai Riverside Retreat.
Justice Nigel Pilgrim has postponed his ruling in the murder case against 36-year-old Chrismar Espinosa, who stands accused of killing his girlfriend's former partner, Wilbert E. Banks Jr., in 2024. The trial came to an end at the High Court on Thursday, July 16, 2026, following the presentation of evidence from both the prosecution and the defense. The court is scheduled to deliver its decision on Friday, July 31st. Banks, a 38-year-old bicycle technician from Euphrates Avenue, Belize City, was fatally shot in the Lake Garden area, where police reported he sustained 7 gunshot wounds. The prosecution's key witness was Banks' former girlfriend, who was also in a relationship with Espinosa at the time of the incident. She gave her testimony virtually after expressing concerns for her personal safety. During her evidence, the woman alleged Espinosa threatened to kill her and her 6-year-old son if she did not bring Banks to the Lake Garden area. She told the court that Espinosa left her in Belize City and instructed her to find Banks. The witness stated that Banks later agreed to give her a ride back to Ladyville. However, after they arrived in the Lake Garden area, she said she got out of the vehicle and Espinosa allegedly appeared and fired several shots. According to her account, Banks attempted to flee by driving away but eventually crashed. She further testified that Espinosa followed her in another vehicle, instructed her to get inside, and then took her back to their home in Lords Bank. Police reportedly located the woman after discovering her cell phone near the scene of the shooting. Espinosa was later detained and charged in connection with the killing. The woman was questioned by authorities but was never charged. She subsequently left Belize, citing fears for her safety. Espinosa took the witness stand and denied involvement in the shooting. Under oath, he told the court that he was at his Lords Bank residence when Banks was killed on April 5, 2024. The accused is represented by attorney Michael Perifeet, while the prosecution team consists of Crown Counsel Maria Nembhart Santana and Crown Counsel Joseph Perez. Belize has taken another important step towards improving the safety and well-being of its children with the official launch of the Child Protection and Justice Steering Committee, CPGSC, a new national body designed to strengthen collaboration among agencies responsible for protecting children and ensuring they have access to justice. The initiative, led by the Ministry of Human Development, Family Support, and Gender Affairs, marks a significant advancement in the government of Belize's efforts to create a more coordinated and child-focused protection system. By bringing together key institutions under one framework, the committee aims to improve the country's response to cases involving abused, neglected, and vulnerable children, as well as young people who come into conflict with the law. The establishment of the CPGSC follows recommendations outlined in the 2024 National Child Protection System Evaluation. The assessment was conducted by the ministry through the Department of Human Services in partnership with UNICEF Belize and highlighted the need for stronger coordination, clearer accountability, and better strategic planning among agencies responsible for child protection and child justice. The committee was formally launched in June 2026 during a technical working session hosted by the Government of Belize and UNICEF Belize. As part of the reform, the former Child Justice Steering Committee and the Child Protection Thematic Working Group were merged into a single national mechanism to promote a unified cross-sector approach to safeguarding children. The steering committee's mission is to ensure that children who have experienced abuse, neglect, or other forms of vulnerability, along with those involved in the justice system, receive timely, coordinated, and child-centered support.
Come in, and so we have them all working towards the same thing, not only to provide policy and advocacy and oversight, but actually to ensure that the programs that are being put forward are measured. And so we have a lot of M&E component monitoring and evaluation to ensure that all the policies and the nice paperwork are actually translated into tangible results that we can see, and we will be able to measure those. We have a timeline. We have outputs that I believe are not only very achievable, right, but that are things that we can work on, and we have been working on, but several ministries have been working on them piecemeal. And so now that we have a concentrated approach, again, I say we would be able to utilize resources better. Several of us have been doing a little bit of this and that, but now we have a concentrated effort, and we are able to really coordinate across the ministries and across also the civil society groups, and across the judiciary, which is a big partner. And so I believe that they're achievable, they're measurable, and we will have tangible results in quite a few. It's a 5-year plan. And so I think it's not far-fetched to see in a year or two that we would be able to come back and say, this is what has been achieved thus far, and these are the measurable outcomes, and this is how we can tell you that.
Its membership includes representatives from the Belize Judiciary, the Department of Human Services, the National Commission for Families and Children, NCFC, the Belize Police Department, and UNICEF, reflecting a collaborative approach that brings together key stakeholders from across the child protection and justice sectors. Among the committee's primary objectives are the development of standardized procedures for children navigating the justice system, strengthening the capacity of social workers through enhanced training, and implementing a multi-year action plan aimed at advancing juvenile justice reform. Currently, there are a number of support programs available to help Belize's agricultural sector adapt to climate change and improve productivity. However, many sugarcane farmers are finding it difficult to access those resources. Programs offered through the Climate Resilient Rural Economic Development Project, CRESAP, the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, CCCC, and AgroPro provide financial and technical assistance to farmers. However, according to Orange Walk Branch Chairman of the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association, BCFA, Fred Ortega, many growers are unable to benefit from these initiatives. Ortega explained that although the programs offer valuable opportunities, strict eligibility requirements often prevent farmers from qualifying. He noted that many growers do not own the land they cultivate, making them ineligible for certain forms of assistance. Others are already carrying significant financial obligations and are hesitant to take an additional commitment, while some simply cannot afford the upfront investment required to participate in the programs.
The situation with this is accessibility for the farmers, because there are many farmers that, yes, have their lands, but they don't have any papers for their land. When we talk about CRESAP or we talk about 5Cs, they want to see that the farmers own the land, or at least that there's a document that demonstrates that the farmer have the right to use that land. And many of us farmers don't have that because of many issues for the course of time. But also the other problem that the farmers are facing is that to do the matching grant that is out there, farmers have to put an equivalent or a certain percentage, and that is where the problems rises because, as you know, as we have spoke before on the situation of the farmers, economically the funds are not there on the farmer's hand. So many of them have to make a loan so that they can match that point, and that is where the problem rises because 99% of the farmers are committed to a certain financial institution, and they're unable to get that opportunity because not all institutions are providing that same program that is available. It's only DFC and the credit unions. When you speak about the commercial bank, they are not into that. So all the farmers, or I can say 80 to 85% of the farmers are trapped by a commercial bank. So that is where many of these problems rise, that the farmers are unable to benefit out of those programs.
Ortega also challenged the perception that cane farmers are unwilling to modernize or adopt climate-smart agricultural practices. He said the issue is not resistance to change, but rather limited access to specialized financial and technical support.
So what would you say about the narrative that is out there? Because we always hear it, that farmers are not open to these kinds of programs, because they're maybe stuck in the old ways and, they don't want change.
No, I wouldn't accept that as 100%. Yes, there are farmers, and like in any case, there are farmers that tend to want to control everything on their hands. But at the same time, there are many farmers also that understand that getting the benefit has certain models that are put in place. And as farmers, we have to understand that if you want to get the benefit, then you have to work with the regulation that is out there. Nevertheless, even with that the farmers understand that rules and regulations are out there. Not even with that, they are able to get a hold to those opportunities that are there because of their commitments to other institutions. So I do believe that if changes might come, we have always asked that there maybe should be an agriculture bank that can give some low interest rate loans to farmers, not only to the cane farmers, but the agriculture community at large. I think that would be maybe a partial solution as we speak, and maybe that can expand in the future, where it can give that opportunity to farmers to have an institution that will really take care of them. It's not a giveaway, but at least to understand whenever a farmer is facing certain challenges in regards to climate change, to pests and what's not, that can give them that opportunity of an expansion of time for him to repay back the loan.
We are trying to expand in
Scale cattle farmers across Belize are getting a helping hand to improve the quality of their herds. Today, the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and New Growth Industries handed over 10 breeding bulls to selected farmers as part of an initiative aimed at strengthening the country's livestock industry. The handover ceremony took place at the Central Farm Livestock Unit, where Minister of Agriculture, Food Security and New Growth Industries, Honorable Rodwell Ferguson, officially presented the animals to 10 small-scale cattle farmers, including from Orange Walk. The initiative was carried out in partnership with the Belize Livestock Producers Association, which selected the recipients. Among the 10 beneficiaries were 2 women farmers. Each farmer purchased a breeding bull for $2,000, while the ministry covered the remaining cost of $700 or more per animal, making the improved breeding stock more affordable for small producers.
Selling these bulls at discounted prices. We are trying to expand in cattle industry across the country. And so by selling these bulls at discounted price,
the program is designed to improve the genetics of Belize's national cattle herd by giving farmers access to higher quality breeding animals. Officials say the initiative will also help
to enable to expand and increase we are trying to expand the cattle industry across the country. And so by selling these bulls at discounted price originally was 2,700, I dropped the price to 2,000 to make sure we can meet the request from the farmers. Now they will take it back to their district and they can either rent to a neighbor to expand and increase the herds in their particular district. As you know, the cattle industry is growing. To date, we're at about 206,000 heads across the country of Belize. And then we sell cattle and hoof for right now as a country. It's our hope to be able to have a processing plant that we can process these meats and be able to reach out to the international markets. Because cattle around the world fetch a very good price. And once we have an international market, then our farmers will not be afraid to rear cattle because then guarantee that there is a market. Hopefully, we are in negotiation with the Bahamas, and they may want several products from Belize. As a matter of fact, that meeting is tomorrow. And if cattle is a part of that negotiations, that will be our first market that we can send our cattle. 2 weeks ago, the Prime Minister signed an MOU with Salvador, and they want many more products likewise. And so Belize is now becoming like a hub for the region because we have the land space. And so I'm hopeful that after today, the farmers recognize the effort of the Ministry of Agriculture to be able to reach out to them.
The program is designed to improve the genetics of Belize's national cattle herd by giving farmers access to higher quality breeding animals. Officials say the initiative will also help increase productivity, strengthen the livestock sector, and encourages sustainable and environmentally responsible cattle production. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
It is a distinct honor to be here in Belize for the launch of the Caribbean Development Bank's Basic Needs Trust Fund 11th program, BNTF 11. For more than 4 decades, BNTF has stood as one of the bank's most visible and impactful instruments for community-based poverty reduction. Here in Belize, the legacy is clear. Over the past 25 years, BNTF has completed 79 sub-projects in vulnerable communities at an estimated cost of $23.79 million United States dollars. Through BNTF 11, we have begun a new cycle of investments. This investment of more than $5.2 million United States dollars represents far more than approved financing. It represents a renewed commitment.
BNTF has supported transformative investments in education, water and sanitation, community infrastructure, livelihoods, and social development. Through BNTF 11, we have an opportunity to build on that legacy by ensuring that our investments respond directly to the needs of our people, particularly the most vulnerable among us.
The new school building has made a huge difference for me and my classmates. The improvement to our school have made our learning environment cleaner, safer, and more comfortable. Thank you to the Caribbean Development Bank, with the Social Investment Fund, the government, and everyone else who helped.
No one must be left behind. Not that child attending school in rural Toledo, not the farmer in Orange Rock, not the family in Corozal, not the communities that continue to face challenges accessing basic services.
very elated. I'm happy because it's a brand new project for Pomona Village. As a matter of fact, if you had come here in 2024 at this time, it's going to be only bush. You can see development here already. So we put in the infrastructure when it comes to roads and drainage. Today, we are going to issue 150 titles. People are very happy that they can go and build a house for their family. I want to thank the Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Corey Hyde, for the support. And we are here today now to look at this brand new community that will benefit many Belizeans.
I'm happy to get my piece of land and that they're a nice place to live. You have your own land. I appreciate what they did for me. I'm happy for the land. I never expect this would be so early. I thank the minister for the land because for renting it is totally expensive. I really appreciate what he did for our family. Like what he said today, it's moving on like from generation to generation.
In many ways, today sets a tone for the months ahead. The theme we unveil this afternoon will become the thread that connects our celebrations across every district, across every community, and across every generation.
We have different traditions, food, histories, but those differences don't divide us. Instead, they have become the story we tell together. And that story is what visitors fall in love with. Our barrier reef, ancient Maya sites, and rainforests attract visitors to our shores. But ask them what they remember most. The answer is almost always the same: the warmth of the Belizean people.
Every Belizean has a story. Every Belizean has something to contribute. Every Belizean, in both ways, great and small, helped to shape this nation.
Sometimes in the rush of daily life, we forget to be grateful. But let us remember, Belize remains a nation that can celebrate many things. Look at me. I am Belize. You are Belize. We are Belize. Let us carry this pride forward. Happy 45th anniversary, Belize.
The Belize Defense Force BDF welcomed 134 newly trained soldiers into its ranks this week during a passing out parade held at Price Barracks. The momentous occasion drew proud family members, government officials, and senior military officers who gathered to witness the graduates complete months of demanding military training. The newest group of recruits consists of 113 men and 21 women, all of whom officially joined the BDF following the successful completion of their training. Addressing the graduates, Prime Minister and Minister of Defense John Briceño commended them for their dedication and commitment to serving the Belizean people.
Among these 134 recruits are 20 outstanding women who, with their male counterparts, successfully completed a demanding journey that tested their discipline, resilience, courage, and commitment. To NTX 69, let me say this. Over the past 18 weeks of training, you have transformed from civilians into soldiers, entrusted with the responsibility of defending our nation and serving its people. The uniform you wear today is more than a symbol of achievement. It represents honor, sacrifice, and an unwavering commitment to duty. As you begin your military careers, remember your greatest strength will not only be your skills, but your character. Uphold the values of loyalty, integrity, discipline, selfless service, and professionalism in everything you do. The Belize Defense Force places great trust in each of you, and I am confident that you will serve with pride and distinction wherever duty calls. I also congratulate your families and loved ones. Your encouragement, patience, and sacrifice have played an important role in helping these young soldiers reach their milestone. This achievement belongs to you as well.
The graduation ceremony also marked a historic moment for the Belize Defense Force with the appointment of Warrant Officer Class 1D Anchor Greenidge Reyes as the force's first female force sergeant major, the highest enlisted appointment within the organization.
The future of the force will shape by the leaders we develop today. As the first woman appointed Force Sergeant Major, I recognize the historic nature of this occasion. I accept with gratitude while remaining focused on the work ahead. This appointment is untimely about duty, service, and responsibility. To every member of the Belize Defense Force, I know that respect is earned, trust is built through consistency, and leadership is demonstrated through action. I will therefore be present, listen carefully, act faithfully, and carry out my duties with integrity. Today, I receive the pay stick as the symbol of this office and of my commitment to the Belize Defense Force. May we move forward as one force, disciplined, professional, ready, and united to serve Belize. Thank you.
Reyes succeeds Warrant Officer Class 1 Wilfredo Mahano, who served in the prestigious role for an outstanding 26 years. Her promotion represents a significant milestone for the BDF, reflecting the growing opportunities for women within the military and highlighting the institution's continued progress towards greater inclusion. A new generation of women entrepreneurs is taking bold steps towards building stronger businesses and contributing to Belize's economic growth following the successful completion of NIMI Belize's Inc.'s Entrepreneurs Incubator Program. Implemented in the partnership with the IDB Lab, the Incubator Entrepreneurship Program formed part of the Catalyze Her Potential, Fueling Female Entrepreneurship Project in Belize, an initiative designed to equip aspiring women entrepreneurs with the skills and confidence needed to launch and manage successful businesses. A total of 124 women graduated from the incubator program after completing intensive training in business planning, entrepreneurship, and business development. Participants also benefited from valuable networking opportunities, allowing them to exchange ideas, build relationships, and learn from one another in a collaborative environment. Graduates represented districts across Belize, with 50 participants from Belize District, 24 from Cayo, 21 from Toledo, 11 from Orange Walk, 10 from Sand Creek, and 8 from Corozal. The entrepreneurial journey continues for many of the graduates. On July 13, 2026, 91 participants advanced to the Accelerator Entrepreneurship Program, where they will receive specialized training focused on business growth strategies, financial readiness, access to resources, mentorship from industry experts, and opportunities to connect with potential investors. To celebrate this milestone, Belize hosted its first in-person certification ceremony on July 15, recognizing the achievements of the Orange cohort for successfully completing the incubator program. Similar certification ceremonies will be held in the coming weeks across the country to honor graduates in each district. The initiative addresses common barriers faced by women entrepreneurs, including limited access to financing, business development support, and innovation opportunities, while helping unlock the potential of Belize's private sector. The project is built around three key pillars: strengthening entrepreneurial capacity through a learning management system, LMS, expanding mentorship and networking opportunities through both online platforms and in-person events, and piloting a seed capital initiative through a microfinancing institution to improve access to funding for women-owned businesses. Funding for the initiative is provided through the IDB, with counterpart contributions from Belize's executive and members, as well as financial support from additional project partners. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Friday, July 17th, here on Ctv3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com ctv3belizenews, or our YouTube channel at ctv3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.